is, aha, yay. All right, let me get caught up to where I am. See, that's the cute thing you would have seen. Who does what? Air service. There's all the destinations we fly. I don't want to spend too much time on this stuff. You can see, and on our website, you'll see these same cities. And if you hover your mouse arrow over that city, it'll show you which. What's that?
You can take this one. Yeah.
Can I walk around with it?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. How do I get it to go?
Right click.
No. Yeah, but if I gotta hold it there, I'll just push over here.
So left.
Left?
Yeah. Left.
Okay. So,
Good, thanks, Sean.
thank you.
Mhm.
Here's the carriers that serve us, destinations they serve are listed out the outside. Color coding is tell you where there's direct competition. Here's the cities we don't serve, okay? Those are the cities that are my stress points. Those are the ones I want to get air service to. You can see a lot of them on the West Coast, some of them up here in the Northeast, one in the middle of the country, well, two in the middle of the country, Salt Lake and San Antonio. But those are the areas we want to serve. Here's what's happened since the D-Hub. Now, middle of the year, Delta was still flying, and then they D-Hubbed us, and you can see the big drop. Now, the orange line is flights. You can see what happened in the number of flights. The blue line is number of people. Less flights, less people. So you can see what's happened since then. So we've been on steady growth ever since, and I would expect that to continue based upon what we're doing. The interesting thing about the number of flights is you say, well, how are you adding more people when you don't have as many flights? Your flights aren't really going up. Sometimes they're going down. Bigger airplanes. When we were a hub, the average size of an airplane was 58 seats. Today, it's 180. So they're flying twice as large planes, which gives them more seats and ability to serve. So what's changed is when people are flying and the number of seats we have. So as you look at this, you can see that during fall break, which is just now kind of coming to an end, we had more seats than TSA could process per hour. We had more people in the checkpoint than they could possibly process. So what did we do? We sent a campaign out to get people to come early. And they did. So we actually kept the lines moving good enough and nobody had to stand at the terminal for too long. Lesson for you all is you go home for spring break, you go home for Christmas, you go home for Thanksgiving. If you're flying somewhere, think about when you're flying and check for the notices on my website, because we'll tell you. And if you're flying in the early morning hours to go home, you want to get there a lot earlier than you think, because the lines can be crazy, and the lines at the ticket counter drop a bag can be crazy. So you have two waits then, ticket counter as well as security. Cargo, the other side of my airfield, it's like running two airports. I got a passenger side, and then I got FedEx and the cargo side. 9.8 billion pounds of cargo a year. We're the largest air cargo airport in North America, second largest in the world. Okay, so we are down slightly. That's due to the global trade issues and what many are saying is recessionary issues across the globe, China, Europe, so on and so forth. FedEx counts for 99% of our cargo that we put through, which is obvious if you think of the number of jobs and number of people they have working in Memphis at any point in time. Here's the website, flymemphis.com. See where that plan of flight is? That's where you click to find out where to book. We developed this site specifically because of the evolution we knew we were going to go through, customer service oriented. There's the map I was telling you about. This is Houston, so you click on Houston, you can go on Houston, Hobby on Southwest, or Intercontinental on United. If you want to fly on one of those two, you click on whichever one you want. It takes you right to their website with that destination already queued. Other things we do, and if you're running business and you got a customer service centric business model, you want to think about these things. What can you do to make their passenger's life better, easier? Okay, how do you help them do stuff? Probably the thing that is used the most and appreciated the most is right here. Okay, vehicle location jump starts tire inflation. When you've got 8,000 spaces on your airport for parking, and we're running out of spaces on holidays, it's inevitable that some of those cars, battery's gonna be dead, or that one of their tires is gonna be flat, or someone comes back from a week in Cancun, they don't remember where they parked their car. They know it was out there. So we have a concierge program. They drive them around while they click that little red button on their key fob until the alarm goes off. Then we deliver them to their car and they leave. So it's used about almost 100 times a month. So that'll tell you a little something about travelers. So here's some of the projects. That's the big four I was telling you about. You got the modernization, which is the B concourse. You got the consolidated de-ice facility, and that's where I was when we got our picture. That's important because every aircraft that sits here overnight around this concourse, passenger, on the other side of the airfield at FedEx, every one of those has what during the night? Cold temperatures, moisture equals frost, equals icing. So every one of those has to be inspected and de-iced before they can leave. This facility will allow them a much more efficient flow to get out of here on capacity. And this runway and that runway are the ones that we use during the winter time. So they come out of here, peel off, take off. They aren't on the ground very long once they're de-iced. So it's efficient. Right here's a bridge we're under construction right now. I'll show you pictures of that. We haven't started construction of the big area. Really cool. We're putting a tunnel just like we have on Winchester underneath here. You'll see pictures of that. Building a whole new airfield maintenance facility. $55 million to house maintenance, police, operations, so on and so forth in that building. Bringing everybody together to make it efficient. And we've actually opened the bottom picture there. We've opened that facility, Conrac, Consolidated Rent-A-Car Maintenance and Storage Facility, and I'll show you a picture of that. So, where are we at on these projects? Well, the Conrac's done, we're going through punch list. We're about 70% on the bridges, about 30% on the maintenance, airport support building, and about 18% on there on the concourse. So that's the Conrac. Obviously, it's not a parking lot. You can see they line them all up here to store them. They haven't brought any cars in yet because it just opened in this picture. You've got maintenance bays in the front. Actually, in the back, you got fueling and wash racks. So they bring them over there. If they have to maintain them, they work on that first, then they take them around, take them through the car wash, fuel them, park them in line, ready to be taken back over to the airport for use by passengers. So here's the project, the apron project I told you about. There's the total footprint. This is the bridges portion. And there you can see the big dig, the tunnel underground to connect across here. So there you see the tunnel being formed. There's the drive through there. You can see the places being put together. That's what it looks like. Closer to that today, they're pouring the top deck on it. Ultimately, they will pour pavement all the way across both sides to join both sides of the airfield, which will then give us 2 different lanes of throughput to get there. Just a little picture of the maintenance site. You can see that with the buildings being assembled. That site's about $55 million worth of work. And you can see the steel trusses going in on the concrete walls. And then here's a really fun one. So we stripped all the stuff off the top, tore up all the pavement around the outside, all the way out to the east leg of the B. These are fuel pit moving, where we're relocating where they fuel aircraft out of, because obviously if the terminal's getting wider, planes are going to be further back, the fueling has to be closer to the plane, so we're moving them. So here's foundation footers being poured for the support structure around the building to hold it. Here's inside the lower level underground tunnel for utilities, pipes, cables, you name it, all goes in there. So this is what's under construction today. Everybody's on A&C today. You got B checkpoint and C checkpoint, so you only have two. That's what I was telling you about with the less, we don't have enough throughput to get people out there. So everybody today comes through this checkpoint or this checkpoint, goes to that concourse, or comes over here to this concourse. Once we open this building, everybody will come through here and go directly out to the concourse. And when we do that, these will be closed except for the very ends. And American will be on the left side of the concourse when you go out, Frontier and Southwest, the right side. You got Allegiant, Delta, United, Air Canada around the spine. The west leg will not be built right now. The very end of the west leg is where the Federal Inspection Station, Customs and Border Patrol are. That's where international flights will operate. We do have those seasonally during the summer months. That's what it'll look like. Any of y'all, how many of y'all been in my airport? Okay, brown brick, low ceilings, narrow corridors, gonzo, okay? Come early, mid 2021, gone. Here's what it's gonna look like. Moving walkways, a lot of light, wide corridors. And I'll tell you an interesting thing about this building. We put in what's referred to as high technology glass. The glass is computer controlled, automatically darkens or lightens depending on the ultraviolet light and the amount of sunshine coming through. You'll still get natural light. You won't get the glare. You won't get the part where it makes you squint, hold your hand up. So it's smart